I got to do one of my sound effects for you. Of course, corks of all sizes. And the water drop.
Very good.
That's it. So, am I in or what?
Yeah, you're in. Yeah, come by sometime, we'll record it for you.
All right. Now, you got to understand, folks, that, you know, in the old days, people and families and kids and everybody would gather around the radio, much like this radio that's behind us. Sometimes they were huge, and that's all they had. They had no TV, they had no computer, they had no Wii, they had nothing, none of that sort. And these were live actors in a studio performing a play live with commercials and with sound effects, with real people who did sound effects, and that's what we saw the other night, and that's what Neil's group does. And it's amazing. We actually brought some sound effects, and Gilly Rosenthal is here, and we're gonna play with some of them a little bit later. Got a couple more questions. Tell us about Redshift Interplanetary Do-Gooder. That's one of your pet projects, as I understand.
It's our flagship comedy series. It was created by a Somerville resident named Rob Noyes, who is one of our founding members. Rob has a even bigger interest in old-time radio and pulp stories and things from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. And early on in our existence, he said, you know, I really want to do a serial in the style of the Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon serials that you would go to, that you would hear on the radio or that you would go to see at the movies. And we had a chance 2 years ago to perform at Aresia, which is a big science fiction convention that's usually in Boston. It's in Cambridge now. And we had performed our original Chicken Heart there the year before, and they wanted us back. And Rob was like, well, let me try and write this show. So he wrote furiously for weeks and created this serial. And it's a parody homage, or a parodage, as Rob likes to say, to those serials of the 30s and 40s, with a bit of the 50s sci-fi thrown in for extra measure.
Now, who does the voice of Redshift? Is obviously the character.
Redshift is the head of the team of the do-gooders of this particular ship, the Recalcitrant.
What is something that he would say?
That's if I knew my best. Michael McAfee, who plays the part, says, "That is a clever stratagem." Or his command to get the ship into warp speed is ad astra. He's very much like the square-jawed hero type that has the
I'll save you.
Yeah, well, not quite to that extent, but a bit of the William Shatner, but not quite so much emphasis on the pronouns.
William Shatner, that's right. That's cool.
His sidekick Lumpy is played by Josh Nicholson. Lumpy, Lumpy. I can't even think of the first name now.
There's always a sidekick.
Oh yeah, he's like the mechanic and the pilot, and he's you know, he's sort of like the sometimes crackly voiced kid voice character sometimes who has catchphrases like, you know, "Holy Ackerman, Red," you know. So those are the characters from the ship, and they're from the current day future. We sort of mix it in order to fix the storyline. But
still using the sound effects and.
When we do the live shows, we've used the sound effects, but a lot of the time, because the shows we've done at Aresia have to be done very quickly after our Halloween show, we often end up with just a straight digital soundtrack for those. But at other times, when we have more time to prepare, we will have the various sound effects to go with them.
How many people right now, how many members are there in the Post-Meridian Radio Players?
50-ish. Yeah, it depends, because every year a lot of the studio projects or the short-term projects like the Aresia show, we tend to bring our best people in to play roles. But with the Halloween show, we audition. So we always bring in a lot of new blood with every show. But yeah, I think our current mailing list of interested actors is between 50 and 70 people.
Yeah, I was in radio for about 23 years. When I first started in '85, all our sound effects came on carts, they called them, you know.
I remember
and
them.
you just press the button and you'd hear a boing, and the more you'd press it would be boing, boing, boing. And I used to make a few myself, you know. I made an eyeball coming out of a guy's socket, and it was, and then the marble dropping, and I got the microphone there, and making sound effects is a blast.
It really is.
Now, before we actually play with some of these sound effects, these neat gadgets that you brought, Can you tell us a little bit about what's happening New Year's Eve, first night in the Orpheum? And then we'll play with some of these toys.
Yeah, just about the week before that Tomes went up, I got a phone call from a woman who's on the first night Boston committee who lives in Davis Square and had seen our shows. And they had a group that had dropped out. And she wanted to know if we were interested in filling an hour-and-a-half slot for first night. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that'd be great. And then she said, oh, by the way, it's at the Orpheum. And I'm like, what group are you calling? Okay, yeah, sure, yeah. Yeah, we were all very, very excited to do it. We're just, wow, more
For people that don't know, the Orpheum is an opulent, huge, old theater in Boston. And it's usually, I mean, the last guy I saw there was Alice Cooper. The acoustics are great. And it holds a lot of people.
2,800 seats.
And first night, they really pile in there.
Yeah. I mean, it's right after the it's at 7:30. It's right after the fireworks for the family fireworks. So
That's
that we're
huge.
expecting a lot of people to flow in after that. So we're really excited.
That's awesome. Well, now on the segment, we're gonna play with the sound effects. We have the folks from the Post Meridian radio players here. We have Gil and Neil, and we're gonna play with. Well, first of all, I'm gonna do this. These are coconuts. And check this out. A horse.
Hello, I'm Mr. Edge.
All right, that's cool. All
Very
right.
good. You're hired.
Thank
That's
you.
great.
I got a job. Now, what if you one sound that you never want to hear while you're in bed? You thought you locked that door, but you never want to hear this sound while you're in bed sleeping.
The creaky door.
And what do you got over there, Neil?
Oh, well, in conjunction with the horse hooves, if you have
Yes.
the cowboys, then you have the gunfight.
Oh.
Oh, hello, I'm Mr. Dead.
Oh, you got the horse. You got the horse.
Shooting the horse isn't fair.
No, well. All right, now, suppose you wanted to break my arm. I mean, you know, I'm...
Oh, great. Oh.
So why don't you come over here and break my arm, because I deserve it.
I'll never be able to ride on the water again.
Were you able to do that before?
No.
Oh, well, there
But,
you go.
you know,
Sorry, I know all the old gags.
that's good. Gilly's over there. What else we got?
We've got footsteps.
Oh,
Standard for any radio show.
You don't want to hear this coming up the street.
It's the Bales Bondsman. Run.
Oh, yes.
Oh. All right, this is the best.
We had this one built specially for Tomes this year. We
No.
finally had an excuse to build it.
All right, now this is some people claim they hear this sound when they turn on their TV and see my face on their television set.
I've broken more TV sets that way.
Yeah, that's what do they call this?
It's a glass box.
The glass box.
Yeah. It's for breaking windows, breaking TV sets, breaking just about anything made of glass.
In hearing this in the show, it's really there's nothing like the sound of broken glass.
Audience really ate
You know,
that
it's
up.
like crushing, bone crushing. Well, thank you. Do we have any other little quick ones that we can throw in? Bag of hair.
Well, it's actually a bag of videotape, and it's often used in conjunction with shoes to be grass when you're walking in grass. But you can use it it can be any number of things. It can be walking in grass,
Bouncing in hay.
bouncing in hay, or it could be slithering, riding monsters.
Ooh.
Mostly,
great,
it's
huh?
just a mess getting back in the bag.
You know what it could be? Like
SOMERVILLE. Pom-poms.
Or it could be a beautiful wig. How's it? Oh, it's
Use
wonderful.
number 63.
Hey, man, dig it, huh? Peace and power. Hey, you guys are a lot of fun. I'll help you get that back in the bag.
Thanks.
Thanks, Neil.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Thanks, Gilly Rosenthal, Neil Marsh, Post Meridian radio players. Catch them if you can. A lot of fun. Love from days gone by.
We will talk about public affairs. Sometimes I'll have a guest.
We'll even throw in the Jinsu knife.
Look at me on TV,
What is it?
just like
Ginsu. Ginsu. All right, hold on.
on. Thank you!